What's up, guys? Welcome back to the SOIL Cycling Podcast. My name is Matt Golson, and I'm surrounded by people with trophies. Congratulations, winners. So let's go around. Since I have no idea what order you guys see the screen in, I'm going to introduce you, and you can say hi and whatever you want to say. So we'll start at the bottom left for me, which is Hank.
Hello, I'm Hank.
We'll go to Austin.
Austin.
Yeah. Then we'll go to Nate.
Nate.
Then we'll go to Gabe.
Also here.
And we'll go to Justin.
Here.
And finally, it's our special guest, Matt Johnston.
Oh, the other Johnston. The other Matt not wearing a captain's hat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Matt. So welcome to the SOIL Cycling Podcast. This is a podcast about all things cycling in Southern Illinois and those of us who love it. So we brought Matt Johnston on, not because he asked to be on the show, certainly not. We brought him on because technically you have to win a race to get on the show. You have to have at least won one race in your life. I think that's the rules. And he won the race for our hearts. He's our number one fan. Matt, you can find him at a lot of events. He's at most races that I go to race. He's there to cheer us on, which is fantastic because without fans, we wouldn't even bother doing this, right? Well, we probably would, but it's a lot more fun with fans. So Matt, thank you for that, and glad you're here. What else have you got any exciting things to tell us?
Yeah, actually, I do want to say I did win a race. I think it was in 1992. I won a tricycle race at Mount Vernon High School.
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
Already did.
the Vern.
It's on VHS somewhere. So technically,
Okay.
I earned this spot.
Well, you're here. You're here. All right.
We need those receipts.
I'll ask my dad for the videotape.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I could probably get Van Zandt to go through some old
Yeah.
he's probably got that VHS somewhere.
He's got a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah, we could find that if it's in a yearbook or something. So, all right. Well, we got a lot to talk about. We got, I want to mention, and I haven't really read, I was going to run this by Gabe, but we do have, and of course this comes from Justin too. Parks Plumbing is sponsoring the podcast now.
Yeah.
Yeah, go Parks Plumbing. How did they sponsor us? They got us onto something.
They got us a sponsor spot onto the Dirty South Roubaix, which we will recap shortly, I'm guessing.
Awesome. Okay.
A good spot too.
Yeah, good. I was
spot.
gonna say we were good on the shirt. I haven't seen
Are we on that green shirt right there?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, we're on the back. Oh, can you take your shirt off? No, I'm just kidding. Show us the back. Yeah, we're on there somewhere.
It was on.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I think I'm going to try to get some SOIL cycling shirts made because I've got some connections with dye sublimation printers, and I was like, maybe they could get me some dye subs, and I could print out some SOIL cycling shirts. Okay, so we're gonna thank Parks Plumbing by reading an ad for them later in the show. Just stay tuned to the end, and we want to thank Barry and Larry. Larry's his dad, and his brother Craig for running a great. I've rode bikes with all three of them, by the way. They're awesome guys. And I want to thank them for their support, and Barry. Okay, so we already talked about our special guest Matt Johnston and his tricycle racing career. Real quick too, before we get into our stuff, Americans at Paris-Nice. You said you could fill us in a little bit on that. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, no, I think Paris-Nice was really exciting this year. I still watch most every major, mid-major road race that happens, especially in the spring and the run-up to the Tour de France, obviously the Grand Tours that'll start here soon. Also really exciting, just as a note, is every year that the weekend that the Dirty South takes place, that same weekend or the following weekend is Strade Bianche, which is a lot of fun. So I look forward to
one of my
those two
favorite races
events.
of the year right now.
Yeah, back to back. It's a beautiful race. But I think that obviously the big names that everyone wants to talk about from America right now is Matteo Jorgensen and Magnus Sheffield. They both had amazing Paris-Nices. Magnus Sheffield soloed to a victory, stage 8, I believe, final stage of the race. And Magnus Sheffield secured the win, keeping him within 15 seconds. So that was really awesome. Did anybody watch it?
I'm on stage 4. You just ruined it for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
I watched the highlights.
I got to stage 4 this morning on my trainer.
Oh boy, we
dang
didn't
it.
say no spoilers, Matt.
I didn't think you would spoil it. Nice work. I've got to look forward to.
All right.
Mateo did a lot of work. It
I
was
watched
awesome.
the Chris Horner recap. Usually
I'm
every
sorry.
morning, I watch the Chris Horner recap on YouTube and see how he covers it. I don't have time to sit and watch the whole video.
Right. So
show.
the highlights every morning.
I do like the
I really
highlights,
Didn't mean
yeah.
to ruin it for you.
Yeah.
That's
No,
okay.
I've seen it. I know what's going to happen, and I'm very I'm proud of our guys over there because living that lifestyle is like I'm sure so much dedication and that's awesome. It's good to see Americans on the world stage kicking butt. And
There was one disappointment in Brandon.
yeah, he had to
McNulty.
quit, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's
He
supposed
was-
to race this weekend.
Yeah. Cool.
So just a note of observation on Jorgensen. In 23, he had a solo breakaway on the Puy Dome in the Tour de France and was caught by Michael Woods with, I think, 20 kilometers to go. And then the same thing happened to him in 2004 or 24 on Isola. He was caught by Taddy with 10 kilometers to go.
Yeah.
And so this is when he's been riding for Jonas Vingegaard, obviously. And he's not really had the opportunity until this year to kind of act as a team leader. And he is slated to ride second lieutenant in the Tour de France. And I don't think probably Jonas is up to par for that race this year. So he could have a leash let go.
Maybe he did some big damage to his hand. So
Maybe. Yeah, maybe he did.
yeah, I think he'll be in very good shape for the tour.
Yeah.
But that's we'll see. So okay,
There's
so go ahead.
The Cape Epic's going on right now. If you're speaking about Americans,
Do we want to talk about that?
well,
No, we
Alexa,
I'd love to, but I don't know anything about it.
Well, Alexa Scarta, she's in second place right now with her teammate. I think she's marathon, XC marathon national champ. And then even
I
though
know
she
one of
doesn't,
those.
yeah, and then even though she doesn't claim that she's American, she has lived here for 20 years. Is Sofia Gomez Vilfane. So she's in first place with her teammate.
Yeah.
So, and then
She's
we want
fast.
to talk. Yeah, Adam Scrow said they both passed him so hard at what was it, Little Sugar
Yeah.
when they went past him. But
They
we
wouldn't
won't
have
talk.
if he didn't start with the pros.
He wasn't last place in the pros, so
Does anybody have any good stories or know anybody that struggled through the Mid-South fires and all that stuff? Because that's kind of interesting. I mean, they didn't do the race; it got canceled. And I mean, I know Gene and Katie were there, and Corey and stuff from around here, and I haven't heard anything. I guess everything went fine for them. They got home. They rode that Saturday. I saw on Strava there in Oklahoma.
It looked like maybe they took all their resources to fight the fire. Is that what they did? All the volunteers? Or
They said they couldn't really do the race with the situation because it was like they were already stretched too thin with resources. So bad timing.
Is
I
it
think my-
rescheduled or is it completely canceled?
I would assume it's not going to happen now. I don't think you can reschedule those kind of things.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know anything about it because never done Mid-South. Okay. Well, we're moving on. Dirty South recap is next on my list of things. So who wants to go? Who wants to talk about their Dirty South experience? I've done a video about it. Hank's done a video. Actually, Hank's really done more of a video about the whole vibe there, his race and everything else. So I'm not going to go in depth on me, but I want to hear about Austin. I want to hear about that. What's it like to win?
Austin.
What's it like to win the kids race?
I don't know.
He didn't even do that.
I have no clue.
Oh wait, you didn't win the kids race. What's it like to get second in the kids race? Sorry, that's rude. I'm joking.
No, it's all good.
You
Hey,
smoked me.
it is a kid's race. Nate asked me the other day, he's like, why would you go to a race if you didn't think you had any chance to win? And that's how I feel about the full.
Yeah.
There's no chance to win, so well, just go to win.
But you could win against all your friends.
No, I couldn't have. Nate would have beat me.
Nate, what was your
Debatable.
finishing time?
3:49.
I think you had that in you if you played your cards right, Austin.
And Austin, you were just over 2 hours?
No, I was like 142.
140. Okay.
Which was
Also,
slower than
tell us how the race went down for you.
So it was a little bit different because last year, the same team that kind of dominated that race as far as like took control of it was there again. And of course, I didn't have any teammates, but I kind of marked them. And the previous year, we took off out of the parking lot once the neutral vehicle left so hard. It was hard to hold on for the first 2 miles, and then that broke the group up into like maybe 10 of us, and then from then on, that's just how the race went. But this year, that same team was controlling the pace again, but we were only doing like 16 mile an hour for the first 2 miles, and I was kind of sitting there. I was like, what's going on? Like, are you racing? And me and Nate had been talking some tactics, and they had like 6 or 7 guys on that team, and they were all at the front. So I kind of, after about 2 miles, I kind of surprise attacked off the front, and I just kind of pushed the pedals as hard as I could for probably about 4 or 5 minutes. And when I turned back, there was 2 people behind me, and it was the guy that got first and the guy that got third.
Obliterated.
What's that?
You obliterated him.
No, I just think they didn't. They're like, he's going too early. So they only sent one guy from their team and then another guy. So I turned around, they were there. The next guy started pulling. And then we got to Pine Hills, which both of them, we had kind of talked, and neither one of them had raced this race before. So they didn't really know what was coming. But the guy who won was an obvious. Like, he was way better at climbing than both of us. So I kind of chilled at Pine Hills, and then they both left me. The dude that won took off. I think he beat me up that climb by like a minute. And then kind of slow and steady, I reeled back in the guy that was in front of me. And then once we got to the top of Pine Hills, he went to take a drink of water, and I stood up and tried to just get a big gap in between us again. And then I made up like 40 seconds on the downhill portion, back to the road on first place. But once we got to the road, I think he was, that's kind of his bread and butter again. So turn on to Rhine Road. I could see him about 250 foot ahead of me. I turned around, I can see third place about 200 foot behind me. And that's how we stayed the entire Rhine Road.
That's wild that you guys spaced out like that. And nobody
I couldn't catch him. The guy in third couldn't catch me. Of course, it was a stupid headwind. We were all alone. Like, the only time we had a group together was the first 5 miles, and after that, we were all separated. So it was just a solo effort from all 3 of us. But
was it the guy with the team that was in first place, or was that
he ended up in third?
Untouched?
Me and Nate were talking, and I don't really know why didn't they send more than one guy? But after the race, it's the same guys that I came in with last year, so we kind of talked. And apparently, when one of their guys went, there were some people in the pace lines like, "Hey, are you guys going to chase them?" And they're like, "No, that's my teammate up there, so no, we're not doing anything."
Was that the team that had the walkie-talkies?
They have
They had
walkie-talkies.
radios. I didn't know that.
Matt, didn't you say there was a team setting up some?
Yeah, so
some
they
radios?
were. That was the. I'm pretty sure that was the Missouri kids, like the NICA Missouri kids that parked by me. Some of them were, some of them weren't. But yeah, they were. There was definitely they were. I say kids, but like youngins, and
Some Groms.
yeah. And so the dude who won that race is Brad Atterbury, who I've rode with him a handful of times. From Carmi, I think. So when he blasted around me, I can't remember where he passed me at, but it was pretty close to the top of Pine Hills or somewhere around there. But then you come around, man, you guys both passed me on downhills, which is really weird.
I passed you on the downhill. I was head down. Like, I I may have PR'd the downhill passing everybody. Like I was weaving in and out. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of people mad at me.
I loved it. I loved it. I wish my camera was working when you went around because I wish I'd caught that because you were like, I'm chasing him down and flew around me. I don't know if I'm just getting like old or timid or something because like I was really like very chill on the downhills. And I was like, I'm not going to bother passing these people. And I'm just going to take it easy. And then you come flying around and like weave between the two of us. And I was like, go Austin. And a couple other, I think the third place guy passed me, but not too many. Cause once we get down off that, I led a big pack on the flat and then I didn't see hardly anybody else. So you guys had to have had a pretty big gap on that section. So Hank, we'll go to the other guy who did the kids race. How did that go for you? Sorry, I'm being a jerk. I'm sorry. It
was good. It was fun. I said on my video, it wasn't my A race. And so I just had a strategy to be conservative through the hilly sections of it, but then put down a threshold effort on the way back. And it worked great because I was able to do okay. I mean, I held my own. On the way back, that's the first time since I've been gravel racing that on the way in, I felt like I was able to race the way in. Right? Usually I'm in survival mode, just trying not to lose as many places as possible. But I was on the gas the whole way back, and it felt pretty. It felt great to be able to do that. Now I faded towards the end, and I caught two people on the hill up, and then one guy caught me on the final hill. Other than that, same thing. We were all alone. I could barely see someone in the distance on the way back on Ryan Road, and I could see someone way behind me creeping up on me. And that was it. So it was all headwind the whole way. But it was fun. It was fun to do the shorter race like that and be able to just give it all I got on the way back in.
It looked like on your video. It looked like on your video that the wind probably separated a lot of what would have been smaller groups.
Yeah, possibly. Definitely on the way back. There was no making up ground once we got into that headwind, unless you were just a stud and were really holding back the first half.
Right.
That was definitely a factor. It looked like for the leaders, the main race, watching them come in, they were all kinds of strung out. And now I don't know if they were like that leading into the hill. I only saw them coming up the hill, but I don't know. They looked like they were pretty strung out. So anyway, that was my race. It was great. It came in 19th. I'll take that.
That's awesome.
At my age, I'll accept it. But I'm looking forward to the 100K next year. And I was a little sad I didn't do the 100K this year, but that's okay. I'll get into it next year.
Good finish.
All right, Nate. I think we'll go to you next. How's that sound?
That's good. Yeah, this year I was like in a weird headspace whenever I started because I just came off being sick. So it's like we went to Florida. I had some good days. I had some bad days. Like, didn't really know I was going to hold up. I wanted to PR, but when we got there, like the wind was wicked. So I just told myself, like, we went out. I didn't even line up very far forward. Like, I was just going to go out and I was going to try to stay with like the second group, like early on. And then we got out there and it was kind of crosswindy in the beginning. So I just put like some power targets, like set for myself. And a couple of the Paducah guys were with me and they were like blasting up hills and everything. I was like, yeah, you all go ahead. Like, this is going to be a long race. So I think I went like a minute and a half slower up Pine Hills this year, just to like try to conserve energy. Because I remember last year, by the time you get to Ryan Road, like last year I was dying. So just played it smooth. Ended up finding this huge like diesel engine coming down Pine Hills from what is the St. Louis team that was there? Postaria.
Yeah.
And he pulled like the whole road section to the levee at 28 mile an hour. And we just sat in his draft and we were just chilling. And then we got to the levee and had the tailwind all the way. So, I was feeling good. And then you get to Silica and you kind of suffer through there. But as soon as you get off of Silica, like you make the turn and it was literally a headwind the rest of the way. So ended up finding a group of guys. One of the guys I was with on the levee, and I knew he was pretty strong. We had like a group of 20, but the problem was like probably 3 of us were actually taking pulls, and then everybody would take like a 5-second pull and then like rotate back. So as much as I wanted to be in a group, I tried to put the herd into everybody when I could, try to thin it down to people who would actually contribute to the group. But then we got to Trail of Tears, and I let them go. That group of like 15, I let them go up the road because it's a pretty long climb into Trail of Tears, even though it's a road climb. And I was like, I'm not about to just bury myself on this road climb. And I probably gave them 30 seconds. But thankfully, with like that downhill in Trail of Tears, I think I came out of there with like a 30-second lead on those guys. And then come up to another group coming up past the levee at the sag point with like a group of 5. And the point where Henry crashed 2 years ago in that creek, I don't know, everybody like sat up for that creek, and I somehow had rotated to the front right there. And we hit that. I didn't slow down for the creek. I hit it wide open. I was either going to crash or make it through faster than everybody else. So ended up getting a gap right there of like 5 to 6 seconds. And I was like, well, I'm going to make them work to at least get back to me. If it's my turn to pull, I'm not going to give those guys a free ride. So I ended up like just setting tempo, and I ended up staying in front of that group by like 20 seconds all the way to the finish. And I ended up passing Jesse from the bicycle station up the final climb. So
I saw that. It's funny. I spoke to him before the race, and he was pretty confident that he thought he was going to finish top 10. And then I hit a video. I think he was very humbled by the course.
Yeah.
I have one question for you though.
He doesn't say he blew up though. He says I stopped racing. His video is funny.
Yeah.
I just stopped. You mean you blew up? No, I just stopped. Yeah.
Nate, I've got one question for you.
What's that?
Do you think you would have done better in your own bibs?
No. I would have done worse.
Hold on. Whose bibs did you steal?
Frank Martin. I didn't steal them. I ended up buying them.
You bought them.
Oh, nice.
Good old Frankie boy.
So they were
used chamois.
Do you still have mine?
Yeah, I've got them in here too. I was just like taking donations of anybody, and Gabe gave me his, but they were like the most insulated bibs I've ever seen in my life, and it was cool, but it wasn't like freezing cold.
Right.
So I took my chances on the summer bibs. I had a thermal jersey, and thermal gloves, so I sacrificed my legs for whatever speed.
I'm really surprised that Golson didn't have a pair of Temu bibs to loan you. He likes to buy and try stuff off Temu.
Yeah, Temu. X Tiger is a great brand from Temu of bibs. Yeah, you can get some of them. I'll bring you some for the next ride.
Just keep them just in case.
It's actually really smart. I've sold like water bottles. I didn't really want. I was trying to give it to the guy, but like he forgot his bottle, and he was like, "I'm at the Glenvegas last year." The guy forgot his water bottle, and I gave him one, and then he gave me like $20 for it because he felt so bad. Nice. And I'm like, "It's okay, man. You can have that water bottle." I picked it up off the ground at the Dirty South, and he's like, "No, I'm paying for it. It's a $20 bottle." But yeah, so maybe like a bike shop ought to bring stuff, like Bike Surgeon or something ought to have like some stuff there for sale, for people who forget.
We sold some at the Pack and Pickup.
Yeah.
The worst part about it was the night before, because I didn't know how the weather was actually going to play out. So I packed 2 of everything. I packed a full summer jersey
for the whole suitcase.
Yeah, and I had summer shoes. I had winter shoes. I had summer gloves, winter gloves. Like I had 2 of everything. I had 2 jerseys. I just didn't have any of my bibs.
Yeah, but you went home with 2 bibs.
I did. I made up for it.
Did you keep Gabe?
So that's +2 and
I've got Gabe
in the closet.
I didn't pay him for it though.
Oh, sweet. Well, Gabe, how'd it go for you? Did you have a good day? I know you were, kind of not the
had
happiest
FOMO.
at the end of the ride when I talked to you.
I had FOMO.
Yeah.
So we decided at the beginning, I wasn't feeling great for the race. I think I would have had like a 90% day, which is probably enough to say you should go race. But me, Barry, Adam Scrow, Michael Norris, Nick Reel, we were like, we'll just all ride together. We'll probably finish in around about the same time. So we just kind of, I won't say slow rolled, but we were just kind of rolling. And the whole time, we basically said, I think I was going to be like the domestique for the group.
Yeah.
And I sat on the front and I kept on seeing moves happen, like at the beginning and stuff like that. And I'd be like, it'd be a good idea to follow that. And we won't have to work too hard. And people behind me kept on yelling at me to slow down. So I did that. I just did what, the team leaders told me behind me.
Yeah.
And I think I did like my best power numbers I've ever done, but it was all for not pretty much. I mean, I still did a good time, I guess. I did like a 4:15 or 4:16 or something like that. So
and that's a good time considering the win too. I think the win.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's not my best time ever, but I don't know. So we rolled, we were together all the way to Pine Hills, and Barry and I went up the road a little bit. I don't know. My bike's not geared super low. So when I hit a hill, I just have to like go, or I'm going to be doing like 50 RPM. So I was having to put out maybe a little more power than everyone else. And so we dropped the group, but then we got back on, or they caught Barry and I on the levee. And then Scrow and I just kind of rotated a little bit, but literally him and I were just like chatting, which that's crazy that the tailwind was that much, because I think I PR'd the levee, and Scrow and I were side by side, like talking, just like, kind of just like group ride,
coffee ride.
Yeah. Coffee ride. And then I know we were upsetting some people up Silka because, we like were climbing it, like talking to each other, going up it, and we all pretty much cleared it, and other people were dying going up it. And I don't know, I think we were getting some dirty looks from people, like asking them to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Like, because we were actually trying to ride it. But I don't know. It was a good time. I just like sat on the front. We eventually Scrow said he was going to ride with Michael because Michael was having a hard time. And I told Barry, I was like, you're going to get your PR today. Like, I'll work for you. We ended up catching Isaac Mittendorf. I'd never ridden with him before. Is that one of your guys'?
Cool dude.
Buddies.
Yep.
So I think he had a flat or something, was riding with maybe Nate and those guys, and then got popped once he had the flat. But him and I were working well together for a while. But just like Nate was saying, it was like Barry, him and I working, and there was like 15 dudes sitting on us, and no one would really work besides us three. And so eventually Isaac, we dropped him, and then on Rhine Road, I was sitting on the front, and finally I just told Barry, I was like, hey man, I'm starting to feel it in this headwind. I've been on the front for 45 minutes. You should just go, and you're going to get your PR, but I'm going to stop and use the restroom and just cry a little bit. So I rolled in, just having a good time, like talking to people and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's upsetting that I did like my best power numbers I've almost ever done and didn't get the a result that I think that should get. But it was fun riding with friends. I had a fun time.
You have to show up and actually race as opposed to work for other people.
This is like a recurring story. Same thing basically at Dust Bowl. It's like I didn't decide to start racing till like 10 miles in. And I was like, oh, I guess I should go, and did really good numbers. But then you're just not in the groups you should be in.
Like when you said there was a group you should have like caught on to and other people didn't want to, that was your opportunity.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I would have been right in the mix with like Justin and Nate if I would have gone. I mean, being a local, you just know when to put. Like, it's a big advantage knowing where to push and where not to push and where to draft and take a break, and it's a big advantage.
Well, we saved our fastest time for our lastest time. So, Justin, you went from last year, and maybe you got 1 mile in last year or less. So, tell us about your day.
Well, firstly, before I even talk about my race, I want to thank everybody who came up to me at the packet pickup and loved the podcast and those kinds of things. A bunch of people came up to me and I was like, dude, I love the podcast. Recognize you from the podcast.
Oh,
the
sweet.
podcast helped me. Yeah. So shout out to Golson here for putting this on. I also have a message from my wife who runs the Sag Stop and has all the merch. There still is DSR merch at the Bike Surgeon right now. So if you missed out buying it at the race, there's a handful of hats and bags at this shop for sale. Is that all?
Sweet.
Okay, sweet. All right, cool.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you very much.
Ghost says thank you. Everybody says thank you. She's sitting on the couch. All right. Okay. Gabe can be snobby. That's fine. So I went out. I lined up on the first row because it's my first time on the Dirty with gears and
a bike that fits.
with gears and a bike that fits in like 7 years. So I was gonna go out for a PR, just hell or high water, pretty much. Ended up riding with like the front group all the way to Dump Truck Hill. It got split up a little bit there because people were riding real weird and wonky. Ended up riding with Ian Bolton and AWOL all the way up the climb, LaRue. We came off LaRue, hit the road section. Finally got a few people to start working with me. Very similar to everybody else. It was like only 2 or 3 people working with me. Then we hit the levee and we were just trying to split it apart a little bit, try to get rid of some of the people who were just sitting on. Come to find out, in a tailwind, if you want to attack, it's a great place to attack because everybody behind you has to match your wattage because there's almost no draft. So we were doing like 380 watt pulls on the front and we got over the levee pretty quickly. That ended up shelling a whole bunch of people. I went back. So the group wasn't like going to the slower people weren't going to the front and like peeling off. They were just like leaving gaps and like, oh, you just come right back in here. So it was
Across
just
the
like,
grass.
Yeah, just come across the grass. It's fine. So yeah, it was a fast time through there. I was with a group. I was kind of with that group and we whittled a 20-man group down to about 10. Went up Silica together. Ended up slipping a little bit, lost the rear wheel, had to walk after that, which is kind of disappointing, hearing that a lot of other people were able to ride it. It is what it is. Grabbed some bacon at the top, heckled the guy in front of me for not grabbing bacon.
I didn't even try Silica Hill.
I tried it. It was going so well.
I will say maybe you're like my group climbed, pretty much all of us climbed it. A lady stepped right in front of me and I slipped like at the very top. Yeah. But the only reason I think I climbed is that we were chilling. Like if I would have been going as hard as you were, I wouldn't have climbed it.
I think to the bottom of Silica, I normalized like 305. So we were scooting. Come off the back of Silica and smaller groups kind of formed from there. I drug a whole group back to the faster group that was like slowing down. And then we passed a few people that got flats. Some of them I recognized from just like racing in St. Louis. They come back to us. And then I got dropped in a headwind like 3 miles from the entrance of Trail of Tears. And that was pretty much my race done. I kind of I pretty much got dropped right at the bottom of that like really long road climb. So very similar to Nate. Only Nate actually caught everybody back up. I just kind of rode across Trail of Tears down to the other side. And about time I turned onto Rhine Road or whatever that road is there, right past the Sac stop, 2 people caught me, and we rode to the bottom of the last hill together, trading pulls, caught a few people, dropped a few people, caught a few people, dropped a few people. And then I let them go at the bottom of the hill because there was nothing left. I know I looked real good on the end of like Hank's video. I was like out of the saddle, like smashing.
So you look
But that
strong.
was-
Yeah, I thought that.
That was it. Like, I mean, I was granny gearing all the way up it, just trying to turn the pedals. So I think I averaged like 200 watts up that climb. So I was completely cooked.
I have an unpopular opinion, potentially, but I want to hear what everyone says.
Okay.
The hardest climb in the race is actually getting to Trail of Tears before the steep climb.
Oh, the
It
road
seems
climb?
like like there's the super, like shallow climb all the
It's
way.
a long drag for sure.
It's a drag. Yeah.
Yeah, I always am like suffering.
Last year, if you watch my 100K video, that was where I popped. I was like, I've got problems. It's on the road section before Trail of Tears.
Yeah, so essentially I let the group go with like 30th place, which is kind of sad.
So, Justin, what was your finish time?
3:43 and some change,
Nice.
which is a
That's fast.
16-minute PR over my single speed. One of the single speed guys actually came up to me. He goes, "Oh, is that how much faster gears are?" And I'm like, "Pretty much."
You can see the single speed guys coming up that hill. You can see them a mile away because they were just doing
you're
that
paper
rocking.
Yeah.
That thing,
you're
yeah.
paper boy.
Oh, it's so funny.
And I think this year's course is probably like 5 to 10 minutes slower, just with the wind.
Because of the
probably.
wind. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. That
Conditions were awesome though.
Yeah.
I'd say the levee was like the best ever. I'd
The
ever seen.
levee
It
was so
like-
smooth.
yeah, it was smooth.
I
Also,
PR'd
what's
the
your question?
levee. I PR'd the levee alone, trying to just take it easy. Like I wasn't even like even trying on the levee. All I'll say about my day was that last climb into Alto Pass. I had maybe what's one goo gel like? How many calories, grams is that?
90. It's 90
Like 90.
calories.
Yeah.
So I had one
20
goo
minutes.
gel. I had drank a lot of water, but I had one goo gel all day, and I think I barfed most of it out. And then climbing, I was about the time I got to that hill, I was like on rock bottom. I walked up I couldn't even, at one point I couldn't walk anymore. Like I just stood like a broken robot on that hill, like trying to get my legs to move. And so I think I took 26 minutes to get up that hill, like walking. So something like that. Cause I remember thinking, I was like, I'm just gonna have to crawl. I thought for a minute, I was like, well, maybe somebody will come down and pick me up. And I could hear those damn horns. Like I could hear them like over on Rhine Road. I think I could hear those horns. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. The wind is doing it.
Yeah, it was a rough day for me. It was probably one of the worst days I've ever had on a bike ride in my life. So moving on.
So actually, I do want to say one more thing. I want to thank Nate he had some words of wisdom that he said he was not going to walk the final climb. He would fall over on his bike before he'd walk any bit of that climb.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why I made it up that climb, because I was sitting there going the whole way up, okay, you can walk. No, you can't. Nate can't make this climb faster than you.
I love Justin came running down at me, and I was just like spinning, like just chilling. Like I'd done my job. I got buried to his PR, and I was just kind of spinning up the climb. And I think Justin maybe thought because Barry had beaten me that like Barry and I had like been like clashing, and I'd like completely blown up. And he comes running down. He's like, "I've got you," and starts pushing me up the climb. And I look back at him. I'm like, "I'm fine." Like, I was like,
"Yeah, that's in my video."
It's appreciated. It's appreciated, but
I did cramp right while doing that. By the way.
Yeah,
well,
walking down.
I have a secret though. I didn't run 35 millimeter tires.
Ooh.
What did you run though? Were you on the Thunderbirds?
Yep. I bought the first
on
pair.
Thunderbirds.
Yep.
I have a quick
And-
question for you guys.
Okay.
So I think Hank already said that it wasn't his premier race of the season. He was targeting something else this year. How many of the rest of you, this is your target event?
It's an A event for me in the sense of like I'm, trying to train hard for it, but it's definitely like not a race that I know I'm going to be the most fit at just by the time
It's
of
so
the
early
year.
in the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, every race is an A race for me, man. I just go in. It's like do or die. I mean,
Okay, I
like,
have a question then. If it's an A race, why did you only eat one gel?
he didn't have his honey. That's what
it was.
Listen. In the past,
That was a little honey bear.
in the past, I have bought bags of gummy bears, and this year I was like, I'm gonna buy some of these goo energy gels. These guys seem to like these. You can get them at Walmart, so it's like,
Oh, is that where you get
I
him?
don't know where I got them. I just got some goo energy gels.
The bike
And,
surgeon of Southern Illinois carries those too.
I'm sure Bike World does too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get your goos.
But thanks for supporting the Walton brothers.
Yeah. Well, hey, they do good. They do a good job. They do a good job with
Bentonville.
So I ate a goo, probably the fourth or fifth one I've ate in my life, and on the levee. And when I got over Silica Hill, I thought I was gonna die. Like my stomach, and I don't think it was the goo. I don't know what it was. I mean, it could just be that I'm a pansy. That's probably what it is.
Fair.
I don't like goose.
But I think I'm going to try the next time I do an A race, which is here in a couple of weeks. I'm going to try SIS. Can I buy those at the Bike Surgeon?
Yeah, I do.
They're easy
You
on
can
the
get
stomach,
SIS.
aren't they?
I think I have more vendors than you.
Where can you get it? I thought the feed was the only place you can get it now.
I can get them through Super Secret Rob Landis.
The Good Life.
So, I mean, technically, you could probably buy them off them too.
So would you guys say that's probably one of the easiest gels to go on your stomach?
So I was going to say this. I've used SIS before, and I like them. I think I used a Honey Stinger, maybe, or they make an isotonic gel too. I think it was Honey Stinger that I used this year, and I was kind of mixing those with goos, or not mixing them, but alongside with, and I've really, really liked them. I think it was like a lemonade flavor. It was awesome.
You got to get on my
Don't
broke
worry,
boys
you can get
setup.
those at Sierra.
What was that?
Go ahead,
What'd you
Austin.
say?
I told Golson, don't worry, he can get those at his local Sierra.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad
And Matt,
that's
you should think
not
about-
right next door to me.
Matt, if you think about putting some calories in your bottles instead.
Well, I
Like on
did. I mean, I did have Scratch in my bottles. I didn't.
Oh yeah, okay.
And so I probably got, but it's not a lot of calories. It's like less than Gatorade. I think it's like
No,
18.
I have to double scoop mine.
Yeah.
no, I'm putting about 400 calories in each of my bottles when I'm doing a race.
That's
So,
about 4 scoops.
I did a trick this time that my buddy Chris that stayed with me, which he got a PR this year. I'm dirty, but the night before I got a pot of water and I boiled.
Pot?
I boiled.
Okay.
Yeah, a pot of water, and I boiled all of my mix down pretty much. Really concentrated it and then mixed it into my bottles.
I did the same
What's
thing.
the trick there? What's that about?
It allows
Well,
you to
because so like
salt my calories so liquid.
Well, so like I use the Scratch super high carb mix, and it calls for like 7 scoops to be like what you really need, which I do about half of that, and that works for me. But still, it is super thick. Like it doesn't want to mix with like cold water or anything like that. So, yeah, at least that's been my experience. It doesn't mix very well.
Well, I think I'm going gummy bears next time. I think that just seems to be my fuel is gummies. I had one of my best days ever eating gummy bears. You can ask Michael Norris about it. 2x4 race. I was just throwing them up in the air and eating them. They're great. Okay. So I think that concludes the Dirty South talk. Great race. I want to go back and thank our organizers for that again. so proud we have that, and glad everybody could make it, and always look forward to next year. Hopefully I won't die next year, and yeah, we'll have a good time. Okay, so that brings us into the next big event, the next big thing to talk about on my list here. I got SOIL Grand Prix. So I've done a video about this already. I won't retread that too much if you're haven't seen my video about it. We'll just quickly recap it and talk about what's a little different this year from last year. So Gabe ran this last year, and I think it's pretty safe to say that last year, if you were running this, you had like some you weren't really like doing it it was very much like a friendly, here's a group of guys we can kind of follow, or whoever follow our times, but we're kind of, you're kind of doing it as a shop maybe. And, so it's a little different this year. I think this year, more or less, it's brought to you by this podcast, and we are a non-entity. So I'm feeling pretty good about the fact that we are running an underground race series. I'm running it. There you go. If you want to sue somebody, you can sue me if you die on the SOIL the SOIL Grand Prix. So it's a friendly competition. To get into it, you need to ask, or if you come to the next race, which is the Assault on Williams Hill, then you can get into it. So we got 3 road rides, 3 mountain bike rides. 2 of them are kind of gravel. 1 of them is road. We will definitely be doing something a little different for the road ride. I think Gabe talked about this the other day. It's real smart, so we'll mention that. The main thing I wanted to talk about on this, since I've already brought it up, is strategy and kind of like the overall plan for the event. So I'm kind of doing like reverse points, so you're trying to get the lowest score possible, get as many high places as you can. You can drop 2 races. So it forces you, if you're a roadie, you need to at least do 1 mountain bike, or if you're a mountain biker, you need to do at least 1 gravel or a road. If you don't do one of those, you're going to get a horrible score for that one event. But getting to drop 2 races, I think that should make it where you should be able to sort of target this as a series without, like trying to make every single one of these races. So what do you guys think? What's the consensus on it?
Yeah, I think it did good. I think last year I was kind of just running as, just trying to help promote the race, all the races that were in that a little bit more, all these races are like very grassroots besides, Dirty South's grassroots, and it's, grown maybe a little beyond that. But everything else, if there's like 50 to 100 people there, it's like lucky. So just any extra promotion of those races helps.
And these are local events,
right,
that aren't bringing in, talent from across the country or anything. So I've already had question. I won't tell you from who, but I've already had some text from somebody who wanted to talk strategy on it. And, like they were really wondering if they were going to be able to compete in it against the likes of Gabe and Austin and Nate. And the
answer is no.
Can we?
I asked that question.
I said 100% you can.
What was it? What'd you say, Matt Johnston?
So can we guess who asked him? I'm just kidding.
No, I do. I am a reigning champion coming back. Have you guys talked to Zach Wilkins?
Zach does what Zach wants to do. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Zach won last year.
Yeah, he won the overall. I think it was how'd it go? Was it Zach, Nate, Barry, me, Hank? Maybe.
So WKY won the SOIL Grand Prix.
Yeah,
1-2, baby.
I like it.
I think that's how that
Kentucky,
went.
clean it up.
Zach, Nate, Barry, Gabe, Hank, Mike Norris, Justin Pohl, Matt Golson, somehow in the top 10 there.
See, that's how you said it in your video. That's the strategy. You just
Over
have to
Austin.
You have to show up to the races. If you show up, you're probably going to have a decent score.
Well, I'm gonna miss. I didn't get points for Dirty South, and I'm not going to Klaus Park. So
You're not going.
See that we can figure something out for Dirty South. I think we can somehow approximate like a score in there, maybe.
I mean,
I don't think we should.
I
don't think so. That's not how this works.
Well, I mean, that is kind of
Oh.
okay. So from my experience running Soil Zwift, the Zwift racing thing, I had quite a few, I wouldn't say angry messages from a handful of people, but I had a few messages of putting some pressure on me that I didn't really feel like I wanted to deal with. And so, like this is the first situation right here that I guess we need to hash out. Like this year, we got Austin, who obviously would have destroyed me, like he doesn't deserve to come in under me, unless of course you want to say, yeah, he does, because you actually did do the full race, Matt, and you didn't, Austin.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't be trying to reward him.
And that's why you can drop 2 races, right? And
maybe if you do the half, you can drop 3.
Look, I'm not asking for it.
I know. Yeah, I know you're not.
Yeah,
I know you're not, but somebody will.
I'll ask.
Let's put it in the suggestion box.
We'll ask for something.
Next year, Dirty South, I'm doing the whole thing. I'm going sub 3:30. You heard it right here.
Oh, put that in the record books. Nice. Matt, write that down.
I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah.
320, 327.18.
So
I believe that will happen before Matt shows up to a bike race and actually races.
I'm riding my e-bike.
I already won that tricycle race.
So
Hank, what do you think?
Austin, you can do it. I know you can. If you start now, you can make it.
I left question marks on the spreadsheet. Because my hope was that it won't matter. Like that would be one that, you would have better results other places. And so it won't matter what your Dirty South is. If it comes down to, me and Hank in our place, I'm definitely going with no points for Dirty.
Yeah, that's not offensive to me. I'm gonna miss a couple of the races. Like I'll tell you that straight up. So Matt, you got a big advantage on me this year.
You mean you're not gonna go to Klaus Park?
I'm not gonna do Glendale. I will do the assault on Williams Hill.
You have a tiebreaker for Glendale against Matt. You have to show up to Glendale.
2026 is right around the corner. We'll sort it out then.
Glendale's the best one.
Sorry, I can't put your target race on this, Hank. I wish I could.
I know.
Yeah.
So why aren't you coming to Glendale? Is there a scheduling conflict, or is it just your coach says no?
I haven't really broached the subject. I really don't want to do too much mountain biking. I'll do some fun riding, but I won't do any hardcore.
So here's the thing with the series, Hank. You just have to show up and get on the board. You just have to get on the board for the.
I might do it. I'm not ruling it out, but
Hank, you
I won't be prepared. So we already put with the assault on Williams Hill. I'll go do that. It'll be a chill pace for me. But when we do the blue sky, the ride to the sky, was it the blue sky? Ride to the sky. When we do that, like that's already on our calendar. He's gonna cut me loose for that one and try to race.
They're gonna make that a B race.
That's going to be a B race for me. Yeah. So that's on the calendar for sure. So,
how do we score Ride to the Sky?
So Gabe's got a plan for that.
It's neutral all the way to 13, kind of like what it was. The truck let us out.
And then it's race back to 13.
Mm-hmm.
Back to that. I think back to that road or
I think we went to a sign last year.
Old 13 or whatever. So from 13 around and then like at the old 13.
Yeah, that way we're not like going into traffic at 30 mile an hour or 20 whatever mile an hour.
And we're going to probably going to need a Zwift, a Strava segment for that.
I made one, but something weird happened on it. It's not showing that anyone's done it.
Yep.
Yeah. Plus, I don't necessarily trust if it comes down to a sprint.
Yeah, that won't.
Well, if it comes down to a sprint, you're going to look over and go,
so
that person
I
won.
It might. I doubt it goes to like. Yeah, it might go down to a sprint, but there'll just have to be honor system on there, and then everything else, like besides like the top 5.
Yeah.
Like we'll just have to use the Strava segment. If someone wants to, petition it, we'll have to be like, is there a witness? Like,
yeah, I'm just going to start 20 seconds back from the start and then catch the group. And then I'll already have a 20-second advantage when we finish.
Well, see, but that only works if you're going by the Strava. If you're actually going by the Strava segment.
Strava segment.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sit there. Well, I guess, assuming I'm at the front, like the top 5 roll in, then I'm just going to sit there and then know who comes in the rest of the time.
You just lost your teammate, Justin.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no.
I still got scrubbed.
No, I'm
saying you guys off pretty good last year.
No, I'm saying until the end. I plan on being there at the end. But like once we roll through, I'll just sit at 13 and watch the rest of the people.
That assumes you'll be ahead of everybody, Gabe.
That's a good assumption.
Ooh. I'm not riding with Screw again.
That was rough.
Where's that?
Because
he sings,
man. He sings all the time.
He does. It's awesome.
I rode with him this evening.
Like, Adam, I'm hurting over here, bud. Please just let me die in peace.
He's whistling Dixie.
He is whistling Dixie the whole damn time too. Up every single climb, he's just having a good old time.
Yeah, that ride was really, really hard. I got dropped like 3 different times, and
last year's ride to this guy
scrapped back.
Yeah,
it was a lot of climbing.
It was on the last 2 or 3 climbs that Adam was at the front, singing, and I get dropped, and then it flattens out. I catch back on. It descends. I'm on. It goes back up. Get dropped, and then get back on. It was rough.
So that was the last time I rode my Badone before I sold it.
Let's not bring up that bike.
It's bad juju.
So Ride to the Sky is May 3rd. And that, if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, that is a ride put on by St. Francis. It'll start at John A. Logan College. It's a really great route. I enjoy it a lot. I think it also happens to be the same day as the Tour des Stooges in Staunton, Illinois. So if you're, if you have to choose between the two, you get to come see us if you go to the Ride to the Sky. So that's definitely going to make it. But I mean, I don't know. I've never done the Stooges. This one is a climbing ride, and to me, that makes it a lot more interesting. So before that, in the events, we got the Dirty South East Side, which I'm calling Assault on Williams Hill. This, I don't think. I'm not expecting. I'd be happy if 10 people show up.
I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised because people have been coming into the shop talking about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you never know. People like talk big game and then don't show up. But I wouldn't be surprised if like 20 to 25 people are there.
Yeah.
Which might overwhelm. I've not been to that gas station. Is there
it's got parking? A big parking lot. It's got a huge parking lot. I probably ought to check with them again because I had kind of a standing agreement with them that rides could start there. They didn't care at all because that's where, I used to do a lot of rides starting there. It's really close to getting into the good stuff. And I was thinking, we'll probably get 10 people show up for this. So if 20 people show up, we'll be fine. If 30 people show up, maybe.
Can you park at the school?
The school is now completely barred off. They store equipment there and they gate it off. So there is.
And there's other spots. I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a church. I think there's a church right back there in Mitchellsville that we could park in. So there's it's country. There's a ton of places to park, and I don't think that'll be a problem. This ride will feature Williams Hill. It'll feature Eagle Mountain. So it's a climbing ride, and I would like to ride it at Golson tempo for me, and try to finish it at a decent time. And I think that my goal with 40-mile ride is that, even if you finish it really fast, it won't be too long to wait for not everybody necessarily, but most people to get back. And oh, by the way, I do have prizes coming in for this race. I actually ordered some currency from eBay for this. Got some really cool currency coming. I wish I had it. It's not in yet. It's money from the country of Belarus. 100. Yeah, I think that's why it was so cheap, because they're I wanted to give out cash, like I was like, oh, cash
prize.
Yeah, and it pays 5 deep. The winner gets 100 Belarus rubles, but they call them a little bit different than rubles. They're like rubles, I think, or rublas or something. But anyway, they're really cool. The winner will get a buffalo. It's got a cool buffalo on it, and then second place I think is like a squirrel. And I think third place is like a wolf or a fox or something,
I wish we had this money. I don't need pictures of guys.
Yeah, this is.
I want a wolf.
So I got the idea to do like foreign currency, and I started looking at foreign currency, and I was like, this is the coolest currency I've ever seen. And so I ordered it. I won't tell you how much it was, but the exchange rate is like 100. I think it's like 1 ruble is like 0.003 cents or something. So, but you'll be a ruble-aire. So
I have a warning.
Too bad.
I have a warning for everybody. Okay. And it may never happen in your lifetime, but if you ever plan on going to Chernobyl, you have to take a train to Chernobyl.
Yeah.
And if you do not get off there, it goes into Belarus and they will arrest you.
Yeah, and you'll never come back.
You'll never
It's like a
get
really
back,
dangerous place. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's horrible. It's where dreams go to die. And so that's I don't know. I thought hopefully I get it. It's coming from New Jersey. So another place dreams go to die.
Yeah.
So I was thinking this Williams Hill ride, I started thinking a lot about tires and stuff. And I don't think it's got a lot of gravel, but it's also got a lot of road. And a lot of the gravel is just strictly climbing. And I don't think I'm going to run big gravel tires on it, but I don't know if it matters too much.
Austin will tell you you're wrong.
Yeah. Am I wrong?
Oh, sorry. Wasn't paying attention. But I'm racing my road bike, if that was the question.
Yeah. It's because Williams Hill, the hardest climb is all paved. So yeah, I think I'll ride like bigger road tires on it, I think is what I'm going to do. So
I'm going to ride my road bike.
And I'm really petitioning Matt Johnston to come do that, and get a race in. I don't know if he can or not. I don't know if his schedule will allow it, but I'm pushing him. I want to see him there.
I'm converting the chisel to a drop bar.
I want to know what Austin's geared at if he's riding a road bike. What do you gear at for something like that?
Probably 39-36.
39-36.
Well, you can climb Williams Hill or Eagle Mountain. Any of these could be climbed on just regular road gearing. You don't need, none of them are that steep. There's nothing that particularly, it's not any, the Williams Hill climb is really easy. Now, Mo wanted me to do Bruce Johnson. Bruce Johnson has a really steep, mushy gravel section. But taking the race over the Bruce Johnson turned it from like 40 miles to like 55 or 50 or something.
Oh, wow.
Which is, I was just like, let's make it road. And so it's kind of like half gravel, half road. So it's like halfway between dirty and like ride to the sky. That was kind of the goal. So, so if you guys can, if, anybody wants to come out, I think it'll be a fun ride. You might, win some money from hell. And, so ride to the sky. Then we got Klaus Park. I have unfinished business with Klaus Park. I hope I can finish it this year. And but I'm definitely going on June 29th, and then Touch of Nature, whenever that happes, that will happen this year. And Spooky, is it going to be Spooky Catalyst again?
We can call it that.
Because that's Nate likes that.
We got to come up with a better name.
Yeah.
Spooky Catalyst.
Spooky list. Spooky list.
Yeah, I think September sound like a good date.
Something with maybe Cadillac in it. Catalyst, Cadillac. I don't know. Anyway, we'll workshop some names for that race. But September.
Catalytic converter.
Just cut off somebody's muffler and that can be the trophy.
Yep. Did you say September?
Yeah, I need we need to settle a date on that, but that's when I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
It's like before it gets super busy in the fall, and it's starting to kind of get cooler a little bit. But a crazy thing about Touch of Nature right now is that the lake is basically gone.
Oh,
So-
yeah. It's
That's
drained.
really dry. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
They've dropped the lake. They're eventually going to do work on the spillway or whatever. So it's way like where we used to like swim sometimes by rocky ledges. It's like rocky cliff at the moment. It's like 40 feet down.
Can we ride it?
It's probably like 30. I can't tell you what to do.
I don't know. Okay, so next up on the list here, we got SMBA T-shirts. Gabe, you want to tell us about them real quick?
Yeah. We have T-shirts for the Shawnee Mountain Bike Association. Maybe I can send Matt a picture of that and he can put it up here while we're talking about it in post. But yeah, they're going to be like $25. I have 65 of them, which is not a huge run, but you know, it should be enough to get most people that want those. And if I need to get more made, we will do so. But all that money goes straight to the Mountain Bike Association, which provides tools and fuel and stuff to do work on all the trails in the area.
And
all
just
the
speaking
unsung
of,
heroes.
since you just brought trail work up, what's Glendale like right now? Like, I mean, the weather's been bad. There's been a lot of ice.
Glendale is an anomaly. Somehow it's almost always good trail tread wise. Of course, there will be trees down occasionally, but you know, the guys down there are really good about getting to that quickly. But yeah, Glendale's almost always
John's
good.
been doing
John
some cutting
Summers.
with the chainsaw. He was out there the other day.
Yeah, I saw that.
Don't tell on him. Don't tell him. It wasn't John. It was some.
And he was cutting it with his hands.
Yeah,
No,
It was
we're-
Sean Jummers.
We're allowed to. I think there's quite a few people in the Mountain Bike Association that have their sawyer. So as long as it's on the ground, we can cut it. So, but yeah, Glendale should be good to ride. If you want to go ride it, you might have to walk over a tree here or there.
Well, my little trail
not super
system
often.
in Run Lake is horrible. It's like riding. I mean, it's always bad, but right now it's like incredibly bad. It's like riding on wet sponges or something. It just like sucks the energy out of you, and so it's just been wet so much, I guess, and snow.
So should we have a short track race out there?
No.
Yeah, it'd be so
You
much
let me
fun.
know if you need trail workout, Matt.
Yeah. Well, come on down. Need to get your mountain bike and come on down. Okay. So next up, now we're running kind of low on time here, but I really want to get to this section because I wanted to get Hank. Hank is going to tell us about coaching with Ignition Coach Co., which I'm a big fan of, you know, that whole crew and Dillman and Johnson and the Bonk Bros. And so I thought it was really cool. I was like, oh, sweet. So what do you think so far? How's that going?
It's not what I expected going into it. They really, my coach's name is, like I said, Henry Lutz. He really took me back a notch and making me build this much stronger foundation than I've ever had. Lots of endurance rides, tempo rides, and some threshold rides. I used to do a lot more hit rides and VO2. At least once a week I was doing those hit and VO2 rides, thinking that you had to push that ceiling up, right? That's the idea, to bring the floor up with your tempo rides and bring the ceiling up with the VO2 max. But really that was kind of a waste of time if you don't have that strong foundation. So it surprised me the first week of I think I'm on week 5 with him. And, starting out the first week, I was like, it's pretty light, pretty easy. And it's just been building ever since then. So coming into this week, I'm building a lot of fatigue. Like I'm really starting to feel it in my legs. This morning was, I did it yesterday was 90 minutes endurance. Today was 20-minute tempo and a 45-minute tempo, which is hard. It's you're constantly pushing your pedal. So 10 minutes of tempo is not hard, but 45 minutes is a lot. It's not overwhelming though. It's just a lot. It's a moderate intensity for a long time. And then I'll do endurance again tomorrow. and then a long ride, and then threshold type of ride. But he's built me up slowly, and I really feel like it's building a really strong foundation so far. I'm looking forward to what's to come. I don't know what the intensity work is going to look like later. But what's great for me is this year has been really busy for me, and my mind's at ease. I just looked the night before what my workout is tomorrow, so I know what time. I do most of my workouts in the morning. I just have to make sure I get up at the right time so that I have the time to do workout before work. Other than that, I think nothing about it. I don't stew over what's next. I don't build a calendar. I just look what's going on tomorrow morning. So it's in that way, it's put me at ease knowing that I'm doing something right, working for a big goal in what's going to be August. That first weekend in August is the senior games, and I don't have to worry about it. I just do the workout, and then that's it. So it's really nice. I like it. We use Training Peaks. Every week he populates my workouts in there, and then every 2 weeks we talk. I can text or email them anytime I want. And if I do have to do a phone call, I just let them know, and we can arrange that as needed. So far, I'm really impressed with it. It's a lot easier. It's more simple than I thought to participate in it. I'm paying for a plan. There's 3 levels. I'm in that kind of mid-level, which is, I think, $220 a month, if I remember right, which is pretty reasonable. I'm going to get me through the senior games, and, we'll see how it goes. If I continue, my next big goal will be the Huntington Dirty South next year if I want to continue with coaching.
Oh, cool.
How many times do you get to talk to him?
Right now it's set up every other week. So every other Monday we do a talk for about 30 minutes. But if I need to do something in between, I can call him. I can send him on, you have a chat, and we'll get on the horn. I haven't had to do that because he's responsive on text and email. So any questions I've had, the turnaround is quick on getting a response. Because he's a regular guy. He does biking. He's up in the Chicago area. I don't know how many athletes he trains right now, but I don't know. It's been really smooth. It's been amazingly smooth, and all the stress of planning and worrying about it is gone. I just do the physical part of it now, so it's really nice.
So for like Dirty South, did he give you a tip? Like what did he tell you for Dirty South? Because obviously that wasn't your A race. You went in with a plan. Did he give you the plan, or did you how did that work?
No, he gave me the plan. He recommended how I should pace that race. And if you watch my video, I would explain it in there, but apparently you haven't watched it yet. Yeah,
not everybody does.
But next time I'm in the toilet, you can just watch it and you'll get it. Oh, but really, he said,
I did not make the final clip up the hill.
I didn't see you. I looked at all my videos. I couldn't find you.
You chased me with your pole. I didn't make it.
I did?
Yeah. I pointed at it.
Look.
He chased me with his pole.
Oh.
Yeah, I did that to a lot of guys coming up that hill. I chased them with my pole. Well, I'll look back. I'm sorry. Well, I apologize. I would have put you in that. I don't know.
I watched it
when I was editing.
You got Jesse
I lined all
from
my
the
videos up.
Station.
Did I? I lined up all my 360
5
videos.
seconds in front of him.
I'll go back and look, and I'll put up a special short with you in there if I find it. Will that make up for it?
That would make up for
it. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Boy, I apologize. That was a complete mistake.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah. How much? No, but the goal was to be really conservative early on, and that's what I did. I took it easy. I did not, as people are hammering up those hills early on. Everyone gets up and they put down the power. I did not play those games at all. And by the time I came into Pine Hills, I was warmed up and ready to roll. So it was great. But if I had to do the 100K sometime this year, I would pace that same way. Because it was fantastic having the energy and knowing that I could put down the watts coming back in, right? Knowing I could race on the way back. I've never felt that before.
Does your training program include any nutritional fueling strategy? Because that's where I feel like I'm weak day to day.
No. I feel like I have a pretty good handle on that. So no, I haven't discussed it. I'm sure if I had questions about it, I'm sure that he'd put something together for me, some recommendations. I just haven't needed that.
Well, awesome. I'm glad it's working for you. I hope it keeps working. I hope it doesn't work good enough to win over me in the Grand Prix, but I feel like you're probably don't really need the coaching to beat me. So I think your target, I hope it helps you have a really good race at the senior games.
Absolutely.
Do you have a best friend that like tries to get you off of your training plan ever and do bad things?
I'm married with kids.
Oh,
I'll
so
leave
you
it
have,
at that.
he's a
I have all kinds of best friends to derail my plans. That's why I go. That's why I bike in the mornings, because nobody gets up and bothers me in the morning. They'll bother me all night long, but they won't get up and bother me in the morning.
I'm hurt because Nate will never change his plans for me, but his wife wants to go on a 7-mile Monday night ride on his intensity day, and he does it.
What did we do Sunday?
Matt invite me to a gravel ride.
What did we do?
Isaac's gravel ride, right?
What did we do,
Yeah.
Nate? We did, and what? And who made it hard?
Not me.
You.
I did after everybody else did.
Hey, Hank, can we, do you think through Ignition we could pull money together and get Nate a cameo from Dylan?
I don't know.
What would
That
it
might
say?
cost a lot of money.
What would it take? What kind of money are we talking about?
We need to know. He might
probably
quit
get-
training.
What would that look like? What would you want that to roll out like?
I need
It's probably
him with
Gilman.
a. I
You could get
need,
Dillman for like $10.
For a Klondike bar.
I need Dylan Johnson with a permanent marker, and me in my thong bib shorts that Austin has a picture of. I need Dylan Johnson to sign my right butt cheek.
Do you want him to chase you with his pole?
Yes.
Hey, that's my job.
All right, you heard it here, Dylan. We need it.
We need to make it happen.
We need you.
Talk to my agent.
ain't
Okay,
asking for that.
so one other bit of news we have: Bike Surgeon is having their swap meet this year. Probably should have put this up earlier. If you're still listening, Bike Surgeon is having their swap meet April 19th. I probably can't come because that's my wife's birthday, and so I don't know if I can drag her to the swap meet that day and say, sit in the parking lot while I look through thousands of bike parts or whatever. But
Last year, it turned into more meet than swap,
yeah,
which was awesome. I think this year we're going to try to get like a food truck, or Pat's going to be out there drinking PBR and cooking hot dogs or something. But
cool.
I think it is, if you want to try sell stuff, set up a table. You have to provide all your own stuff, provide your own booth or however you want to do it. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come. If Bike World has some tires and different stuff that's hanging on walls and you guys want to come up and do that, you guys are more than welcome to and hang out. But yeah, it's more like an open house, just, spring
parking lot party.
Yeah.
And there's a group ride before that.
There is a
Right.
group ride. Last year, I think we did say that we were only going to do the 30-mile route so that we could get back to the shop.
Yeah. So Gabe, when do Saturday morning shop rides start?
Technically, it was supposed to be this last week, but we had the weather come in. So potentially this weekend.
Oh, sweet.
TNT starts tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up as well.
I was going to post on the Facebook page.
Go ahead.
No, so TNT starts tomorrow, which will be fun. It's going to be cold, it's going to be windy, and it's going to suck. But hey, that's bike racing, right? I'm working on getting.
Is anybody racing this weekend?
What's this weekend?
Tour of St. Louis.
Oh no, I'm going to Chicago.
Big Dog AWOL
Nice.
is going to that. Yeah, I was going to talk about that. We texted back and forth a little bit about that too. I don't know if he's doing both races, but Justin, you did it last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
I'm
are
supposed
you
to go
done?
do an enduro. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No,
I think Big Dog. I mean, I think Big Dog is either gonna crash out and break a collarbone, or he's gonna turn some heads up there because he's gonna be in probably Cat 4-5 and he's very strong right now. So, big dog, I'm pulling for you, buddy.
So depending on what he does, there's a TT and 2 crits.
Yeah.
Sunday is looking like rain.
I think that he's going to struggle in the TT just due to bike position. Not because of power. He's got plenty of power. But bike position, I think he's going to struggle. And then in the crit, I think he'll be fine as long as he can hold a wheel.
Yeah. And we know he can hold a wheel.
Yep. There you go.
And I think he's gonna do really well. I think he's done some crits before too. I think he told me he went to like Toad or something. I don't know if he raced it, but I think he's done. If he has it, it's going to be interesting. Those are really windy crits, and then the Forest Park one is pretty bumpy, kind of a little bit technical, kind of bumpy, and it can be very windy.
Yeah,
they used to do Tuesday Night Worlds at Forest Park, and they still do that.
Yeah,
it's at Carondelet Park.
Oh, it's Carondelet.
Okay.
Van Knight. That's the Van Knight series.
I believe. Yeah,
I would go do that if I lived there, but I don't.
I'm not driving 4 hours a day.
There might be 2 other people in the 4-5.
Really, Nate?
Maybe.
You thinking about doing it?
Weather dependent. I'm not going to drive up there for a rain race.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of feel about that enduro.
Yep. I think
our sponsor will be very upset with me that I'm nursing a shoulder injury at the moment, and usually I go down at least once in an enduro, either in practice or during the race, and I'm not sure I want to deal with that any more than I have to.
I think I'm not doing any crits this year. I don't know. I just don't seem to have the drive for it, even though I really, really like the racetrack one, which is the same day as my assault on Williams Hill. It's April 5th.
It sure is. I took it off my calendar just to put your race on.
Well, thank you. I really like that race, but I'm just the time and money involved in them, and then the fact that I've been I don't know. I think while I think they're awesome, I just don't seem to have the interest in racing crits right now that I would have, that I've had in the past, which wasn't that much anyway. So, but yeah. Nate, I think you should go do it. You might beat Big Dog. Will you do 4-5 or are you 3 now?
I'm still not officially a 3 until I can voluntarily move up, but yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to sandbag it as long as possible. But there's another person going to be there.
Who's that?
No, I looked at the weather. He's going pickleballing.
Pickleball.
I may go up Saturday then.
Yeah. I could go if I wanted to. I have prior engagements Saturday that I have to go do, but yeah, if I didn't have those, I'd probably go with you.
But noted those, so right after Assault on Williams Hill, there is a doubleheader up in St. Louis, Tilly's Park in St. Anne's.
Yep.
So that one's gonna suck, and Tilly's Park hurts. It's stupid. It's bumpy. It's the roads are shit, but it's a great race.
That makes me want to go do it, Justin.
Is that the one? No, I didn't see. I saw you at Cardonalicious Park last year.
Yeah.
Which was pretty climby for a crit, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not really climby, but it did have hills.
So Tilly's Park is it's almost like cross bike territory where you kind of want some larger volume tires, and it's got this little false flat uphill, then kind of comes back around and falls flat downhill, and it just kind of hurts every lap.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to say one other thing here before I forget about it, guys. I'm getting pretty close to my Zwift race weight, my Zwift weight.
Heck
I'm
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I'm down like 10 pounds this week.
Nice.
Not this week alone, but yeah. So if I keep this up in a few years, I won't be cheating at Zwift anymore. So that's going to be great. Next season, I'll probably be at my actual weight. Okay. Anything else we want to talk about?
Matt, I wanted to get a review of your Timu carbon fiber wheels that you raced Dirty South with, if you raced with them.
Elite. They were Elite brand. They were really nice. I noticed that the front one is not perfectly true now. The back one still is. The front one has a very minor wobble. They were super, super easy to set up tubeless. They come with tubeless tape. They set up really good. Like I popped them on with a floor pump actually on one of them. The wheels, I was no faster. Like they're a little bit lighter than what I was running, but not much. But they're way wider, and they did give me a super good ride. I mean, it was the most comfortable like ride that I've had with bigger tires and huge rims. So I didn't go any faster, but I can't really say that's not just me. So, but yeah, I mean, are they Zip 303s like XLs like the guy in the green shirt has? What'd you get? You got the Zip 303 XLs, didn't you, or whatever? Are they Explorers?
Yeah, Gabe wouldn't let me leave without buying them.
Yeah. Well, that's why you need to come do the Sultan Williams Hill. That's the perfect wheel. Get you some Thunderbirds and set them up on there.
35s.
Yep, 35s for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you can make it. I hope we can bring some more of the Mount Vernon crew down. They probably won't come, but maybe I can talk them into it. Yeah.
Show me a shirt.
Yeah. Team Vern.
Yeah,
all right, guys. Soil Cycling. We've been proud to be brought to you by Parks Plumbing. No job too small or too big, from a leaky faucet to a kitchen remodel to a new house. Trust us to get the job done. We are Parks Plumbing. I pulled that directly off their website, and
I hear they lay pipe really well.
They are.
Yeah. Oh, Big Hit Barry.
Yeah.
Big hit Barry, the pipe layer.
Larry, Barry, and Craig.
Yeah, good guys.
Hey, I work in the underground industry. They do good work. We deal with them weekly. So
yeah, they wouldn't be as successful as they are if they didn't do good work. And Barry drives a big truck full of pipe.
Lazy.
All right.
And bikes in the back.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. Send us a comment. We're looking for more sponsors, and you can tell that ad reads are going to. Michael Norris, you want to ad read for your painting company? You just contact us, and we'll get you in there.
Just did one.
Yeah, but I'll get something off his website that'll be really good if he wants an ad.
He does have the best truck.
Yeah, it's a cool truck. Yeah, I think they got a vinyl wrap of him like on the truck. It's really cool. So anything else? Anybody want to say anything before we go?
Nope, I'm hungry.
glad to be here.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, and see you later. We're out.